Good, right?
Welcome to Gold Star.
Hi, we'd like a bacon cheeseburger, parm fry.
Can you guys hear me?
Phone recipe to Gold Star. Burgers
Okay.
patients only.
Mela Services has been your one-stop shop for window and carpet cleaning for over 15 years. We've built a reputation for excellence with thorough, responsive, and dependable service. Mela's proud of our 4.9 out of 5-star Google ranking because it means we've delivered
Stand by for the open.
over and over again. So let us put our award-winning team of cleaning experts to work for you. Check us out at melaservices.com/football.
This is the High School Football Tonight Show, brought to you by A.E. Door and Window Company. They sell the best and service the rest. Penn Station East Coast Subs. Penn Station, it's all in good taste. Thomas More University. Accelerate your career with a business degree from Thomas More University. And by Kelsey Chevrolet on Route 50 and 275 in Lawrenceburg. Greater Cincinnati's fastest growing full service dealer. And the Tri-State's #1 Chevy lease dealer. All because of your family believing in ours. From our family to yours. KelseyChev.com. This is High School Football Tonight.
Okay, hello everyone, and welcome in to the High School Football Tonight Show, powered by TriStateFootball.com, here on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360. My name is Safwan Alvi, and I am joined, as always, by my man, by my partner in crime, the guru, the shuru. His name's Greg Shoemaker, and we are TriStateFootball.com, your go-to destination for all things high school football in Southwest Ohio, Eastern Indiana, and Northern Kentucky. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms, the venue formerly known as Twitter and Instagram at TS Football. Again, that's at TS Football. You can also like us on Facebook. That's at TriStateFootball.com. Just search for us in that search bar, and you can also like us on YouTube and follow our live stream with our team hanging out with us tonight, Elena Moore and Keegan Wood from Friday Football Live. We appreciate everything that you guys do for us as well. Greg, we're celebrating 20 years of TriStateFootball.com here in Week 8. The clock has struck to October. Again, we always thank everyone who has been a part of this operation with us, whether you hung out with us a couple weeks ago or you knew about us 20 years ago. Either way, we love you and appreciate all of you guys the same. We got Kenzie Bartone hanging out with us behind the glass. We appreciate her work as well. Greg, we have so much to get to tonight. We got coaches on the hotline. We got finals going around everywhere. The theme of tonight, as we go around the tri-state area, Greg, blowouts all over the tri-state area. And I do want to start with our WLWT Blitz 5 game of the week. Kings coming in tonight. They were taking on Milford and Kings. Greg, talk to me about that atmosphere tonight, because Kings got a big 45-0 shutout in the Blitz 5 game of the week.
Yeah, first play from the game, Carson Lindholm goes 80 yards on a run. Didn't get touched. He just opened the hole up and just went right through it off the between the left guard and left tackle. And he had 3 more before halftime, and it was all Kings in the first half. Nate Lyman had a great touchdown run there, or a catch and run, and they looked good. They looked really, really good. And you know what? This Kings team came into this game only giving up 66 yards per game rushing, and they gave up just 30 tonight on 15 carries to Milford.
Absolutely big win for Kings. They were having fun over there. And Greg, I want to stay in the ECC because we had a top 15 matchup between the Witten Woods Warriors. This game was in Forest Park, taking on West Claremont, right? One of our feel-good stories, coming in, number 15. Head coach Ben Mormon's done an awesome job at West Claremont. Final score, a very close game. Witten Woods, number 4, coming out on top by a score of 12-7. And Greg, we knew this Witten Woods defense is stifling, but at the end of the day, I take this game that West Claremont is for real. This team is a very good team, and they are getting better and better, and they're going to be a tough outcome playoff time.
Yeah, I'm really happy for Ben Mormon and everything he's doing over there. But just let's give credit where credit's due. The Witten Woods defense tonight, 0 passing yards allowed and 96 rushing yards allowed to Bo Rickman and Landon Young, who combined for 988 the last 3 weeks. Those two have. So we're out there next week, West Claremont, and they're taking on Loveland in the Blitz 5 game of the week. I can't wait to go out and see that rushing attack. And But hats off to Winton Woods. They were penalized 10 times for 94 yards tonight too, and still came away with the win. But they got some things they have to work on. They only had 145 yards today of total offense as well.
Yeah, scoring 12 points, and again, Winton Woods really trying to figure out that offense, because next week they meet the number 3 team in our Blitz 5 Top 25, Greg, Anderson. They were taking on Walnut Hills. This game kicked off a few hours early, but it did not matter because Anderson came out with a 46-7 win. And Greg, Winton Woods and Anderson, they take care of business like we assumed they did. Again, West Claremont, it was an excellent game. But Anderson taking care of business, and the collision course is finally upon us next week. We're going to talk about this more as the show goes on, Greg, but early kind of preliminary thoughts about the Juggernauts, undefeated, coming in top 5 matchup next week.
I just don't know if Winton Woods has enough to stop the offense, or the Anderson offense is going to have enough in their tank to put some points on the board. I don't know if Winton Woods can match those points. Now, that said, their defense is going to have to do something to match them, no doubt about it. But big night again, 38 points for Anderson in the first quarter, up 38-0 after 1, and just cruise from there. Justice Burlington for 15, 228, and 2 touchdowns through the air. And it's just everybody doing it. Darrell Turner just carried the ball 3 times, 2 touchdowns. So this was one of those games where they just let everything go and get off the schneid. And, Nick Rosiello played quarterback tonight in the second half of that game. So it wasn't Scaff. Interesting. Because all these guys, these backups for Anderson, are getting letters because they're playing whole second halves of games. So you kind of look and see what's the next level going to be like. So it's interesting.
Yeah, some other scores from the ECC. We had Loveland taking on Little Miami. Loveland blitzing them, winning that game 42-3. And Greg, Lebanon was taking on Turpin tonight. Last time we saw that was in the third quarter, with Lebanon winning 35-21. So again, big blowouts, big things happening in the ECC. Greg, I want to move now to the GMC, where the number 2 team ranks in our Blitz 5 Top 25. Lakota West, they were taking on Oak Hills tonight. And for the 4th straight week, Greg, unprecedented territory, Lakota West has scored 50 points, yet again with a 52-7 win over Oak Hills. They stay at number 2, and Greg, this offense is humming, which is a very dangerous thing for their opponents in the next few weeks.
They're just very efficient right now, and they had 10 penalties for 111 yards tonight and still overcame all that. 355 yards of offense tonight for him. Sam Wiles is playing at an all-state level. He's just been fantastic on running and throwing the football. Kenyon Norman is starting to get his feel in the offense, and Braden Johnson's just been a short yardage touchdown machine after the first 3 games of the season. He's had 10 touchdowns the last 5 weeks after having none in the first 3 weeks. So they're just getting it done every which way you can. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Lakota West, a threat in Division 1.
Absolutely.
Greg, how about the other Lakota that we were watching right here on the TV next to us? They got a big win, a dominating win. They set to a running clock against the Sycamore Avs, 56-12. Greg, Lakota East with another win, dominating performance. Coach John Kidna has these guys playing very good as we come into the end of the season.
Jameson Kitten, the quarterback, John's son, went 10 for 13 tonight for 249 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half. He's just playing lights out, and so is everybody on that offense. It's really good to see everybody taking care of their own business and everybody getting their chance to contribute. Jaden C had 108 yards receiving, his first 100-yard receiving game of his career. The junior 6'3" wide receiver, big target. Boyer's a big target over there at 6'2", 6'3". He's got some people there. It's going to be interesting next week. Lakota West and Lakota East, another big game, and a lot on the line in this game as well.
Absolutely. Staying in the GMC, and Greg, this is a team I want to talk about a little bit. Me and you were talking off the air. Number 7, Princeton. Right, this team has had a lot of ups and downs coming into the season. Right, they were our preseason number 1. Right, for those who remember, once upon a time, it feels like as I'm saying this, they were taking on Fairfield tonight. And last time we saw it was in the third quarter, but it does look like Princeton is going to win this game because they had an offensive, absolute explosion offensively. They were winning that game 61-30. Their defense giving up points to Fairfield. Greg, what's going on with this Princeton team? I know you were telling me some things. Looks like they're going to win tonight, but they still have a lot to figure out.
They really do. They lost some guys, transfer rules. Greg Williams, the kid that came over from Coleraine, a Division I offers there. he was only eligible to. They ruled he was only eligible to play with the first 5 games. So I think they had 4 or 5 guys that got ruled ineligible for the second half of this season, and that's they got to get out of that funk. They also got to learn to run the football. I mean, much like St. Xavier's got to be better at passing the football, Princeton's got to be better at running the football if they want to make a deep run in the playoffs.
Absolutely. They got a couple weeks to figure this thing out because we got the playoffs right around the corner, and the team ranked just under them, number 9 in our Blitz 5 top 25. They were taking on Middletown, coming in ranked number 21st. And Middletown, they were kind of falling off the skids there with a 3-game losing streak, and now we can make that 4 as the Middies are defeated by Hamilton, who was going in the opposite direction. They've won 4 games in a row now. They won that game 42-7, Greg, and Grayson Goldsmith was 4 touchdowns in this game, and head coach Harvey Crotch's Hamilton Big Blue, they are going in the right direction, playing some excellent football.
Oh my gosh. I mean, just look at Grayson Goldsmith, the running back the last 3 weeks. He's averaging over 200 yards a game rushing in the last 3 weeks with 12 rushing touchdowns. So they've got it going on. In fact, the last 4 weeks, the 34, 34, 42, and 42 points they've scored is probably one of the best runs of 4-game scoring that we've seen out of Hamilton in the 21st century.
Wow.
I mean, the last 25 years, they haven't had 4 games put together like that in a long time, and they're playing defense. I mean, goodness gracious. Trey Verdon came back, and Trey's just been sensational. Tonight he had 8 solo tackles, 2 sacks, and 4 tackles for losses, and another forced fumble. He's just been lights out since he returned. They haven't lost since he returned either, which is not coincidental for sure.
Absolutely. The young man putting up video game numbers. Hamilton is streaking right now in the Blitz 5 top 25. Greg, I want to jump to the big boys in the GCL South, right, where our number 1 team ranks, the Moeller Crusaders. We know that they've been there since week 2 after they defeated, like we mentioned, Princeton all those weeks ago. They were taking on St. Ignatius, right? They were power up there in Northern Ohio. They produce a lot of good players in college. It's a good football program. Last time we saw it was the 3rd quarter, probably now in the 4th quarter. Moeller was winning that game 44-0. So what many of us thought maybe could have been a trap game where Moeller doesn't play their best, maybe some penalties, maybe just coming out lethargic. Greg Moeller shows no sign of letting up. The offense continues to go. Defense is stout. It was 44-0. Moeller's going to pick up another win.
They just keep on doing it. And that, you look at this team, they're very, very a polished team. They've been through the wars. The seniors have won 3 straight GCL South titles. They're 9-0 in GCL South play. But that 4-hour bus ride up to Cleveland can be a bear. And they did a nice job tonight getting through all that and handling them. The little crud that could go wrong along the way. They did a nice job of taking care of it and not letting it bother them.
Yeah, Greg, and when a team is this talented as Moeller is, right, they got playmakers offensively, defensively. We know how great of a quarterback Matt Ponatoski is. This was more of a mental hurdle that Moeller needed to clear, right? Like I mentioned, we know they have the talent, but winning a game like this, going on the 4-hour bus ride, the week after winning the GCL South title for the 3rd week in a row, this team also seems to have mental resolve, which is a very, very key component as they go into the playoffs.
Absolutely. And, Deacon Simmons tonight, I think he had a couple touchdown runs for him. A senior, you got their top 2 backs. Tyler Jocelyn has done a nice job for him as their number 3 back. But, it's the offensive line play. It's the play in the trenches that you really have to like with this Moeller team in the playoffs. And I think, now last week to a Wayne team who got their quarterback back, Division 1 Region 2, which is where Division 1 Region 4 will end up playing in the state semifinals. That regional winner. It may not be Springfield this year. Springfield's offense is just sputtering big time, and it could be a team like Wayne. It could be a team that gets hot like Centerville. So, it could be a team out of Toledo or Columbus too as well. But to be quite honest with you, I really like our chances of getting the state finals with our winner out of Division 1 Region 4.
Yeah, Springfield made 3 consecutive state championship appearances with head coach Mo Douglas and crew. That's a really good football program. But again, Greg, everybody has down years, right?
Yep.
This year really could be that for Springfield. We will keep an eye on there. And then how about the game we heard right here on these airwaves, right, with Tony Shad? Actually, Tony Shad was on vacation. It was Ralph Nardini, right?
Nardini.
Nick Lyles, and, the squad was there. Number 6 ranked St. Xavier taking on number 11 LaSalle in the King of the Road game. Greg, this was a top 15 matchup. St. Xavier Bombers winning this game by a score of 9-0, pitching a shutout against LaSalle. And just like the West Claremont game, right, we saw St. X get the win, but there's a lot of questions, Greg, with St. X in this offense. And I came out of this game thinking with the LaSalle answers, this is a tough football team, right? Playing a Division I team like St. X, whoever's got to play them in Division II and moving on to the end of the season, this LaSalle team can make some serious damage going into the playoffs.
Right, but much like Whitten was, now Whitten was a Division I, but again, it's an offense that needs to come to life. And the same with St. X. We're not real sure what they're made of on offense yet. I mean, what is their game? Cam Taylor, there was a Cam Taylor sighting tonight with a touchdown as their top receiver, but I mean, he had 149 yards in one game and 100 yards and 6 catches in the other 6 games coming into the night. So they got to do a better job of stretching the field, and they got to do a better job of running the football. This defense is fine. LaSalle's defense is fine.
Yeah.
It's going to keep them in a lot of games, especially as this weather starts to turn. And I think next week it's going to start to get a little bit cooler and crisper out there on the fields for the rest of the season, because we're only halfway done now. I mean, you got to win. You got to get 8 more games if you want to get to the state finals.
Yeah, the St. X and LaSalle, they kind of mirror each other, right? Really good defenses that can win them games and keep them in games against good offenses, but offenses that they're trying to figure out, right? St. X with Daniel Vollmer and Chase Herbstreit. I don't think we saw Chase Herbstreit until almost the end of the first quarter tonight, right? And he was starting the games before. Seems like X is trying to find that identity again.
Yeah, and I think they're just looking for some mojo somewhere. Somebody's got to be a breakout player. And Vollmer at times can be, but they got to both be together. If they both have to have one nights and not just one or the other. Same with Cam Taylor. All 3 of them need to start clicking. Again, X is a dangerous team in Division I and LaSalle in 2, just because they can play D.
I agree. All right, we're going to take our first break. We still have so much to get to. We got head coaches on the hotline. We're going to talk some Bluegrass State football, some Eastern Indiana football, and we'll also get to those small schools as well. We are just getting started on the High School Football Tonight Show, powered by TriStateFootball.com on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/bank.
Would you like me to call anybody in this one?
Like the power to do. Copyright 2024, Bank of America, N.A.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't.
Okay.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Blind? Low vision? Eyesight changing? You are not alone. Connecting with blind and low vision people can provide support and expand your understanding of what is possible. We are making our own choices every day, but we are also stronger together. To learn more, visit us on the web at blind.org. The National Federation of the Blind. Live the life you want.
For over 20 years, the Underground Sports Shop has been the local favorite for sports teams, fans, and businesses who are looking for quality products with prices they can afford. From uniforms and sports gear to fan apparel and promotional items, we take pride in providing you with the customized products you need and the service you deserve. To place an order, visit us online at theundergroundsportsshop.com or call us at 513-751-1662. That's the Underground Sports Shop, showcasing pride on and off the field.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can easily find coverage options that fit your budget. If only it was that easy to name your baby.
How about Jaden?
No.
Okay. Michael?
Went to middle school with a glue-eating Michael.
Sebastian?
Dated one in college.
How about Damien?
Vampire name.
All right. Greg?
Not feeling it.
Okay. No worries. Jeffrey?
I love that one.
Wait, really?
No.
Find coverage options that fit your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law, not available in all states.
Craving Penn Station East Coast subs? Skip the line and order online at penn-station.com. Get your favorite sub with fresh cut fries and fresh squeezed lemonade. Visit penn-station.com.
Get ready for Genesis Diamond's largest ever sale on luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Hey, this is David Cooper, Vice President at Genesis Diamonds. If you've ever dreamed of wearing a Rolex, you can't miss this special 2-day event, October 18th and 19th. During this event, you can take advantage of special pricing and 0% interest financing on a stunning selection of luxury pre-owned
He didn't answer. Is there anybody else?
of Pepsi, Batman, Sprites, Submariners, Daytonas, models you can't find anywhere else. All of our luxury pre-owned Rolexes are in pristine like-new condition, some just out of the...
Okay.
Listen, with the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings free. That's a $3,000 value. Also, our pre-owned Rolex buyers will be on site offering top dollar for your Rolex. Come see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state and take advantage of special financing October 18th and 19th only, and only at Genesis Diamonds on Montgomery Road.
Week 9 of the Blitz, a trip to West Claremont to check in on one of this season's biggest surprises. The Wolves continue an impressive run through ECC play.
Stand by.
Best rushing attacks in all the tri-state belongs to this team. 11 o'clock, the studio highlights you need as the playoffs sit just 2 Friday nights away. Charlie Clifford, Olivia Ray, we'll see you tonight.
All right, welcome back in. High School Football Tonight Show. Safwan Elby, Greg Shoemaker, TriStateFootball.com. We are with you until 11 p.m. talking all things high school football, Southwest Ohio, Eastern Indiana, and Northern Kentucky. It is week 8 in the tri-state area. The clock has struck to October. The playoffs are right around the corner. We have final scores all over the tri-state area. And Greg, we talked a lot of Southwest Ohio football, right? Blitz 5, top 25. I do want to go back to the Underground Sports Shop scoreboard. You can find that at tristatefootball.com/scores and see all the scores from across the tri-state area. Greg, let's talk some Bluegrass football, right? Bluegrass State football, our number 5 ranked team, Cooper. The Jaguars, they were taking on Scott tonight. And Greg, last time we saw this game is over now, 41-0. Greg, this Cooper team just keeps on rolling. They're playing well on offense. They're playing well on defense, undefeated on the season, and the Jaguars just keep on keeping on.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's so many weapons. There's so many polished players, much like Moeller and Beechwood. These 3 teams just have so many guys that have been there and done it. I mean, Riker Campbell, he's not Cam O'Hara. He's not Austin Alexander. He's not Keegan Marr. But Riker Campbell is having a fantastic senior year as a defensive back for them. Comes up with big play week after week. You know, we talked about this last week. I think they're pulling back the reins a little bit on Austin Alexander and some of these other guys just because they know they're going to have to go through 15 games. And there's a lot of football left to be played if you're a Cooper fan. But doing a great job every phase of the game, actually.
Yeah, Cooper riding high in our Blitz 5 top 25, ranked number 5th. And Greg, some other top 15 teams from the state of Kentucky. How about number 12, Ryle? They were taking on Campbell County tonight. Ryle taking care of business there, 42-14 over Campbell County. And then number 13, right behind them, Highlands. They were taking on Boone County tonight, and there is another shutout pitched. Highlands with a 55-0 win. Greg, Ryle and Highlands taking care of business tonight defensively and offensively. Both teams playing well.
Yeah, Ryle's got 2 losses. Next last week by 7. I think they're 5-2 or 5-2, maybe 6-2 now. Whatever it is, the 2 losses are by 7 points. I think the other one's to either Highlands or they beat Covcath in the opener.
Yep.
So I think it's the other one's to Highlands. So very, very good football teams and enough talent to make deep runs in the playoffs. And you know, Cooper will have to, or Highlands will have to probably end up facing Cooper again somewhere down the line in Class 5A.
Yeah, another top 10 ranked team, Covington Catholic. They were off tonight, right? They had a bye week, so we will see them back in action next week. Again, the Covington Catholic Colonels not in action tonight. Greg, another game that me and you had our eye on and ended up being a very dominating performance. How about Newport Central Catholic, right? They were taking on Newport tonight. Newport actually came in with a better record, but the Newport Central Catholic, right, the Thoroughbreds, they came in and dominated defensively. Greg, Caleb Cole with 4 touchdowns in this game. It's good to see Newport Central Catholic get back on track tonight.
They have a tough schedule. You know, they have to play those White Beach where they play those Class 5A and 6A teams and do a good job of it. Their thing is that they're not deep player-wise. And they have a lot of guys that go two ways. Caleb Cole has just been great as a linebacker. He's their leading rusher and leading tackler. Big time player for them. They need a lot of players to step up for them as we go along. But Newport's not a bad football team. Kyle,
I got Coach Mobley.
so yeah, I mean they're a pretty good ball club, and I think Newcastle's going to have a string of wins to run out their season.
Absolutely, Greg. And I want to get to this next game that we saw just went into overtime and the game went final. Our number 10th ranked team, Elder, they were having an interstate matchup against a team from Maryland, Riverdale Baptist, right? This is a Maryland team. Elder playing that game. They come out on the losing end, Greg. It was an overtime game. Riverdale Baptist beats Elder by a score of 28-27. The Elder score is brought to you by Kelsey Truck Country on Route 50 and 275 in Lawrenceburg, Greater Cincinnati's fastest growing full service dealer and the Tri-State's #1 Chevy lease dealer, all because your family believing in ours. From our family to yours, KelseyChev.com. Greg, this is a tough loss for Elder, right? It is an interstate matchup, so, it's not the end of the world, but a tough overtime loss. A lot of close losses for Elder this year, right? The St. X game came down to the wire. This game came down to the wire. Still going to be a tough out, but these tough losses are really mounting up for Elder.
Yeah, the same thing with LaSalle. They got them in week 10, so that's going to be a huge game. And, there's a lot on the line for both LaSalle and Elder as we finish up.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I think we might have a coach on the hotline.
Coach Mobley's with us.
Yes, head coach Mobley from Purcell Marion after a 60-20 win tonight. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
It's been a long time, Chris, since we had. You took over as Purcell Marion team late in the preseason or preseason this season, and you had some defense. You've gone through some battles, but talk about this team tonight really clicking on all cylinders. You got to be proud of the way these guys bounced back after a loss to CHCA last week.
Yeah, like you mentioned, I pretty much started working out with the team late April. Lost the good players. We had 2 returning starters from last season. So every week we got a little bit better. This is the healthiest we've been all season tonight. And for each other. It was alumni night. They play for our community. And they're really excited about next week's game versus Roger Bacon. Just want to tip my hat off to Norwood. They fought.
Yeah, it's head coach Chris Mobley joining us from Purcell Marion. I apologize if anybody didn't hear that. It's head coach Chris Mobley joining us. And coach, it seems like your team has a lot of resolve, right? Started off the season tough, but then you reeled off a couple wins. You guys lose those tough games. Seems like you guys always bounce back with the win of this team, right? The record may not be perfect and may not be aesthetically pleasing, but it seems like you guys got a lot of fight in that locker room.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of fight. We love our schedule. I think they all only have one loss on the season as of tonight. I mean, we play a team like Harvest Prep from Columbus, who had just beat Division I Pick Central the week before us. Williamsburg is a good program. Coach Ayers does a good job over there. McNick, one of the favorites to win Region 12. I mean, the teams we've lost to are great programs, and that's what consistent and become the long run. But like I said, our team is young and improving every week, and I'm proud of them. They are very resilient, and I think the schedule we play will get us ready for the Division VI playoffs.
Was this the Mayor's Cup? Is that what they call it? There used to be a name for it. I wasn't sure if that's what
I believe that is it.
So Chris, you were a head coach at Hughes. You were a head coach at West Carrollton. Spent the last few years over at Dixie Heights, but now you've got this place over here, this amazing Staubach Stadium. Talk about how fun it is, and you get to be part of ownership of the really the beginnings of football in that stadium.
And I just want to start out by saying, we get tremendous support from administration. Our principal, our athletic directors are amazing. The teachers here are amazing. The custodial staff is amazing. Everyone's on the same page here. The energy's good, and the kids feed off of that. And I'm just blessed to be in this situation where I can lead this program. Again, I think the future is extremely bright for us.
Yeah, and Coach, before I let you go, we got head coach Chris Mobley from Purcell Marion. They got a 60-20 win over Norwood tonight. Coach, talk to me about some of your big players, right? Talk to me about some of your stars, right?
Big games tonight.
Yeah, big games tonight. A lot of offense being played. Talk to me about some of your big guns tonight and just some players who have been shining throughout the season.
He's a first-year football player. His father was a really good football player. Played in the NFL 8 seasons. Was in his first-round draft. They got Ohio State, and Vinny joined the team late in the summer. Coming to his own. I think he had 2 interceptions tonight, a couple touchdowns. He's playing good. Sonny Ward is playing good ball. Justin Thomas and Tyron Jackson, 2 running backs, had good games. Esquire Hurd playing really good on defense. So we have a good group of guys that are starting to really rally and get better at the same time.
That is head coach Chris Mobley from Purcell Marion. Coach, congratulations on a big win, back to 500. We always love talking Purcell Marion football. We thank you so much for joining us, and I'm sure we'll catch up soon, all right? We appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thank you for reaching out. Have a good one.
Thanks, Coach. Right. And Greg, there it is. You know, Purcell Marion, right, they were the feel-good story last year, right? They won a lot of games. Staubach Stadium, right? The atmosphere is good. Coach mentioned it. It's good to see them playing well. Good to see them get back to 500. And this is how you lay the groundwork, right, for a new staff, new coaches. There's still a lot to like about Purcell Marion football.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you look at what happened over there and with the mass defection, guys like Jayon Saunders, who was a Division I or a Division V defensive player of the year for us and in Southwest District, and now he's over at Anderson, and Egbert's over at Anderson, and the running back who is committed to Central Michigan's at Withrow. There's another kid over at Withrow. So he's had to regroup on this stuff. And Vinny Clark, he was a freshman when I was a senior in high school, played for Cape. Wow. And we beat Cape in basketball that year. And, you know,
big shout out to old school basketball.
It was a district championship game. So hats off to my Springfield Catholic, Fighting Irish, and playing those Cape Crusaders back then. And Vinny was a freshman on that team, and he ended up playing for the Packers and Ohio State for a lot of years. He was a good player.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems like his son is following in his father's footsteps, right? Genes matter, Greg, right? Yes. Genes matter. Awesome talking to head coach Chris Mobley from Purcell Marion. We're going to take a quick break, right? We still got a full hour with you guys talking all things high school football in the tri-state area. We got more head coaches to talk to as well. This is the High School Football Tonight Show, powered by TriStateFootball.com on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530, Fox Sports 1360.
Homeowners, the Fed has taken action, lowering rates for the first time in years, and Loan Pronto has followed suit by lowering mortgage rates big time. Hey, it's Eddie. Loan Pronto just locked in a homeowner at 4.59% APR, the lowest in 2 years. Whether you got your loan last month or last year, it's time to call Loan Pronto and dump that high-rate loan. You can lock in at lower rates with virtually no paperwork and usually no appraisal. There's no limit on how many times you can refi, and even if you're in process with another lender, give Loan Pronto a call. If you act now, you can even skip your next 2 house payments. Purchase loans available as well. Get your rate quote in minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Call now, 513-800-1550 or loanpronto.com. Or call 513-800-1550. Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, MLSconsumeraccess.org.
This year, nearly 1 million pit bulls will be euthanized in U.S. shelters. These amazing dogs too often grapple with unfounded prejudices that overshadow their true nature. But there's hope, and you can make a difference. When you adopt or support an at-risk pit bull, you're not just saving a life, you're giving a loving soul a chance at happiness. Help us get these incredible dogs from the kennel to the couch. Follow us at kenneltocouch.org.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
This is Edward James Olmos. Did you know that today 1 out of every 4 American kids is Hispanic? That means many of the future doctors, engineers, and entrepreneurs of our country can be your kids. We all know how hard it is for you to send them to college. This is why many support you. And the Hispanic Scholarship Fund helps you prepare, plan, and pay for your kids' college education. Learn more at hsf.net. Brought to you by the Hispanic Scholarship Fund and the Ad Council.
The time for holiday hosting is upon us, so make your second bathroom second to none with HomeDepot.com's best savings.
Okay.
Right now, enjoy up to 40% off select online bath. Find the latest on-trend styles of vanities, faucets, showers, tubs, toilets, and more. All at prices that will let your budget relax, right along with you and your beautifully renovated bath. Get up to 40% off select online bath plus free delivery at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see HomeDepot.com/delivery for details.
If you or a loved one has sleep apnea, you can help advance research that may lead to a cure. MyApnea.org is an online community where providers, researchers, families, and patients can share and learn from each other. Fill out the online survey and wake up to a better future at MyApnea.org, a public service from the American Sleep Apnea Association.
Get ready for Genesis Diamond's largest ever sale on luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Hey, this is David Cooper, Vice President at Genesis Diamonds. If you've ever dreamed of wearing a Rolex, you can't miss this special two-day event, October 18th and 19th. During this event, you can take advantage of special pricing and 0% interest financing on a stunning selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces. We've got dozens and dozens of Pepsi, Batman, Sprites, Submariners, Daytonas, models you can't find anywhere else. All of our luxury pre-owned Rolexes are in pristine like new condition, some just out of the box. And listen, with the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings free. That's a $3,000 value. Also, our pre-owned Rolex buyers will be on site offering top dollar for your Rolex. Come see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state and take advantage of special financing October 18th and 19th only, and only at Genesis Diamonds on Montgomery Road.
Kids, they're just different than us. Finally, their cancer treatment will be too.
He's not answering. I left him a voicemail though.
From the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, help us transform treatment and care for kids and support all our work at LLS.org.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the propane tank on your grill first before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't?
Is there anybody else you want me to try?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you.
No, he didn't.
You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Subject to term.
Okay, here we go.
Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is the High School Football Tonight Show. Brought to you by AE Door and Window Company. They sell the best and service the rest. Penn Station East Coast Subs. Penn Station, it's all in good taste. Thomas More University. Accelerate your career with a business degree from Thomas More University. And by Kelsey Chevrolet on Route 50 and 275 in Lawrenceburg. Greater Cincinnati's fastest growing full service dealer. And the Tri-State's #1 Chevy lease dealer. All because of your family believing in ours. From our family to yours. KelseyChev.com. This is High School Football Tonight.
All right, past 10 o'clock. We are nowhere near tired. Greg Shoemaker, Safon Ovi, TriStateFootball.com, hanging out with Elena Moore and Keegan Wood from Friday Football Live from NKU. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us every single week. Kenzie Bartone behind the glass. We
got Coach on.
Appreciate you guys. ESPN 1530, Fox Sports 1360. And we are coming back. Looks like we have another head coach on the hotline.
Matt King.
I think we have Matt King from Valley View joining us now after a big win tonight. Head coach Matt King from Valley View, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on that big win tonight.
Thanks, fellas. Yeah, it was huge. It's a great win for us.
Man, Matt, you guys, you win the last two Division 5, Region 20 championships, and then you move up to Division 4, Region 16. You lose a lot of players. You start off 1-2, and now you guys are running. Your mojo's rolling. Talk about this team and how they've gotten things switched around, because it's got to be really pleasing for you as a head coach.
Yeah, they've talked about since April about improve, and it can sound corny or cheesy, but it's true. There's I counted the other night. We were starting 7 guys on defense that didn't start the previous year, and starting some sophomores and things like that. They just keep working. I can't say enough about them. They keep working hard, and we keep challenging them, and we want it to be better, and we're pushing them, and I'm sure that's frustrating to them because they are working hard. They're working hard, and so it's slowly getting better. We're finding where our strengths are, where our weaknesses are, how to make those better, and they just keep fighting. And as far as tonight, I mean, Edgewood is a lot better than the record. That team fought hard, and that would have been a really tough spot. And so, I mean, and how he's got them playing, and no one probably realized that they're playing really well. They've had injuries and all kinds of stuff. But, no, my guys played really, really hard, and I'm super proud of it.
Yeah, Coach, as we near the end of the season, and as you mentioned, right, playing a close game against Edgewood, and sometimes it is good, to win those close games and play those close games, so your, team can improve, situational football, things like that, right? Winning is great, when you're winning 50-0 and things like that, but these wins mean a little bit more because you're, get to work on some situational football and get better at the end of the year.
Absolutely, and the situations, and more than that is more beneficial, and for our team is that they did it. They didn't think they could maybe do it, and they did it. And that's huge for their confidence and knowing that they were in that. And, like you said, being close to the end of the season, at this point, man, it doesn't matter if it's pretty or ugly. If you got more points, so, I mean, that's really all you can say. And the film's going to be tough to watch. But it really, a win to win, and we're super excited about it.
Man, it looks like you're on mode. Next week you got Brookville, who's got a similar record to you guys, and they're playing very well as well. And then, of course, Waynesville, and we all know what that game was like last year. All right, we're already in playoff mode, I guess. And but I want you to talk a little bit about not only being in playoff mode, but that last week, having to face a guy like Garrett Lundy. I know a lot of people don't know who he is, but, I mean, that kid's about as good as any kid at any level, for his level in the state.
Yeah. They should know who he is because he's a really good player. Yes, I'm very aware of Garrett Lundy. He's a great player. If he gets the ball in his hands, you just never know what's going to happen. And so, he's the type of player that, I spent a good portion of my off season thinking about that game. I mean, that's just how it is, and how, what a ways, to help slow him down, because, I mean, I don't know how many times in his career he's had, 4, 5, 6 touchdowns. I mean, you're probably thinking, well, I'm just saying that. No, he's had games where he's had 6 touchdowns. I mean, he's a really good player. So yeah, Brookville and Waynesville, our first goal is to win a league title, and so those are the last 2, and we got to take care of business.
Yeah, Coach, and before we let you go, we had head coach Matt King from Valley View. They got a big win tonight against Edgewood, 24-20. They now move to 6-2 on the year. And, Coach, before I let you go, I want to talk about that Swabble Conference, right? You mentioned the teams you guys play. There's a lot of good football teams in here, right? Bellbrook's a good football team. Ross runs the football well. You guys just played Edgewood. Talk to me about this conference, because week in and week out, regardless of record, it's time to, buckle your chin straps and play some good football.
Yeah, it's great for us. I mean, it's great for us. And, it makes our schedule more difficult. And, it's physical football. It's well-coached football. The coaches in the SWBL do a great job. And, you have to be prepared week in and week out. And if you're not, someone's gonna take advantage of it. And so it's great for us to prepare. Great for our kids to prepare and learn a new game plan each week and make sure that they're on their A game, because if you're not, you'll lose. And it could be bad. So no, our conference is great for us. And, there's been different, they added Ross and Edgewood. And so that was big and good for them. And so conference is great for us. It prepares us well for the postseason, and, we love it.
All right, Matt, one last question for you. And we appreciate you joining us on High School Football tonight. Last week we had Coach Ross on Coach Cummins from Ross, and he pronounces the league. I've always said it was the Swabble. He called it the Swibble. What is the correct pronunciation?
I'm going to be honest. I've always just used SWBL, but I'm a transplant. I've been in Germantown this is year 10 for me, so I'd have to.
Oh, that's what it is.
Keep it simple. Hey, Coach, that's head coach Matt King from Valley View. Coach, we want to thank you so much for joining us. We love talking Valley View football. We love talking SWBL football, right? We'll call it that. Again, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck moving forward, and I'm sure we'll catch up soon near the playoffs, all right?
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. And Greg, look.
Yeah, bye.
This Valley View. Oh, yeah, absolutely, Coach. Thank you. Appreciate you joining us. And Greg, this Valley View team, right? They're used to playing late November, early December football, right? They won state
This guy's a
championships.
good young head coach, man. He's one of the best out there.
There's a lot to like about this Valley View program.
13-2 back-to-back years, and what's he now, 6-2?
Yep.
32-6 in his head coaching career. Man, he can do it, man. And because this team lost a ton. Caden Henson, the quarterback, who was a first-team All-Tri-State player last year and Division V Player of the Year. You lose that kid, and you still eking out wins. That's grit, man. That's how to coach.
Yeah, and Greg, with all this, conference realignment happening, right? D2 to D1, D5 to D4, and it's happening all over the tri-state area. Programs like these, right, and coaches, like Matt King, these are the teams that are meant, if you make that transition, right, good defense, good coaching, disciplined football, these are the teams that make the jump, and they're successful when they make the jump.
Yeah, and Nick's going through the same thing. They went from 4 to 3, and look at them. They're having a great year. They're in our top 25 in the Blitz 5, top 25. So, I've been really happy from that. I like the guy a lot, and it's a great program. Germantown, Valley View and Germantown, they're a championship city. They come out, they support, they're getting things done over at the school. It's just fun to watch those guys.
Yeah, Valley View won their 5th straight game, now 6-2 on the season. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We still have a lot to get to. We got game balls coming up at the end of the show. We're going to try to reach some more head coaches on the hotline, and we're going to get right back to that Underground Sports Shop scoreboard as well. Again, we are just getting started on the High School Football Tonight show, powered by TriStateFootball.com on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
Mela Services has been your one-stop shop for window and carpet cleaning for over 15 years. We've built a reputation for excellence with thorough, responsive, and dependable service. Mela's proud of our 4.9 out of 5-star Google ranking because it means we've delivered excellent service to our customers over and over again. So let us put our award-winning team of cleaning experts to work for you. Check us out at melaservices.com/football.
When you shop Goodwill, you don't just bring home a vintage dress or cat lamp. You bring home so much good to your community because everything you buy funds local job training and more. Goodwill, bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
WLWT Blitz 5 is putting the fun back in football.
Blitz 5 Nation, how we doing tonight?
With Charlie, Olivia, and the whole Blitz 5 team.
We're everywhere tonight.
It's going to be exciting for everybody. Tailgates, traditions, touchdowns, and more.
They heard about our pool party!
And it's all live only on Channel 5.
Where else would you rather be?
WLWT Blitz 5 with Charlie Clifford and Olivia Ray.
We've got a great night for high school football.
Tonight at 11.
So, 4-way with onions?
Wouldn't it be weird if I ordered something from Gold Star other than chili?
Not really.
Okay. What if who should I try after that? Look at me! I'm at Gold Star eating a bacon cheeseburger. It's so juicy and delicious. So weird, right?
Welcome to Gold Star.
Hi, we'd like a bacon cheeseburger.
Garlic parm fries.
Garlic parm fries.
Follow your own recipe to Gold Star. Burgers available at grill locations only.
The fighting spirit of the Marine Corps is born of battles won. Battles won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's a promise made to you for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
Mela Services has been your one-stop shop for window and carpet cleaning for over 15 years. We've built a reputation for excellence with thorough, responsive, and dependable service. Mela's proud of our 4.9 out of 5-star Google ranking because it means we've delivered excellent service to our customers over and over again. So
Nope, he didn't answer.
Cleaning experts to work for you. Check us out at melaservices.com/football.
For over 20 years, the Underground Sports Shop has been the local favorite for sports teams, fans, and businesses who are looking for quality products with prices they can afford. From uniforms and sports gear to fan apparel and promotional items, we take pride in providing you with the customized products you need and the service you deserve. To place an order, visit us online at theundergroundsportsshop.com or call us at 513-751-1662. That's the Underground Sports Shop, showcasing pride on and off the field.
Get ready for Genesis Diamond's largest ever sale on luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Hey, this is David Cooper, Vice President at Genesis Diamonds. If you've ever dreamed of wearing a Rolex, you can't miss this special 2-day event, October 18th and 19th. During this event, you can take advantage of special pricing and 0% interest financing on a stunning selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces. We've got dozens and dozens of Pepsi,
Is there anybody else you want me to try?
Daytonas, models you can't find anywhere else. All of our luxury pre-owned Rolexes are in pristine like new condition, some just out of the box. And listen, with the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings free. That's a $3,000 value. Also, our pre-owned Rolex buyers will be on site offering top dollar for your Rolex. Come see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state and take advantage of special financing October 18th and 19th only, and only at Genesis Diamonds on Montgomery Road.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill.
Stand by.
For well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling.
No, I tried to call the one coach. He didn't answer. Do you want me to try somebody else? Okay.
High school football tonight, powered by TriStateFootball.com. Cincinnati's ESPN 1530, Fox Sports 1360. Safon Ulvi, Greg Shoemaker, the TriStateFootball.com team here. Elena Moore, Keegan Wood from Friday Football Live and NKU hanging out with us as well with the live stream. Kenzie Bartone producing behind the glass. We appreciate everyone hanging out with us. High school football tonight is brought to you in part by AE Door and Window Company. They sell the best and service the rest. Thomas More University. Accelerate your career with a business degree from Thomas More University. And Penn Station East Coast Subs. Penn Station, it is all in good taste. Greg, a Penn Station sub sounds good right now, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. There's never a bad time.
Never a bad time to go get some Penn Station. All right, Greg, as we go back to the Underground Sports Shop scoreboard, right, we still got well over half hour here talking all things high school football in Southwest Ohio, Eastern Indiana, and Northern Kentucky. I want to get to a couple of games that were taking place yesterday, right? We had a handful of games that were taking place on Thursday, and we obviously have final scores, and we will get to them. How about starting with the ranked matchup, number 23rd, ranked Wyoming, right? Those Cowboys are always doing their thing, Greg, year in and year out. They were taking on Marymount, and Wyoming winning that game by a score of 41-6. Real quick, Greg, talk to me about this Wyoming team. They're well on defense, as they always do, under head coach Hancock, and they seem like they're playoff ready here in a few weeks.
I mean, 8-0, their only loss is who they lose to in the first week of the year? Or no, they lost. No, they haven't lost to anybody. I felt like they lost in week 1, but no. Beat Ross 28-14, and they beat Monroe. That's a pair, a Division III team, a Division II team they haven't win over, and they've just been rolling ever since. Yeah, you're right. The defense has been good. Gave up 26 at Taylor, and other than that, that's been their closest game. I mean, that was a 9-point game, and I just like where they're at. Joel Hancock's running the ball really well. They look like a team that's built for the playoffs. Hancock tonight had 21 carries, 142 yards, and 2 touchdowns. They just do it so many different ways. And defensively, you're right. They're fantastic. And Jess Howard's having a great year, a 4-year starter for them. Defensively on the defensive line, and is an offensive juggernaut blocking for Hancock as well.
Absolutely. Wyoming doing what they usually do, playing good
they
football.
play Indian Hill next week now. Indian Hill's starting quarterback is out. Now, Devlin Daniel, the running back, I mean, he pretty much can take over a game. So the Hancock, Devlin Daniel matchup next week is going to be one we'll talk about. So stay tuned to Safwan and I on our Tri-State Football Week 9 preview show, and we'll tell you all about it because that's going to be a fun matchup.
Absolutely.
Sure.
And then we had a trio of Northern Kentucky games that were blowouts yesterday, right? Holmes was taking on Grant County. Grant County winning that game 47-0, a shutout. Lloyd was taking on Pendleton County. Lloyd winning that game 50-20. And then finally Ludlow, they were taking on Trimble County, and Ludlow pitching a shutout there 54-0. And then that last game that was played yesterday, Northwest, they were taking on Ponitz, yet again, another shutout. Northwest winning that game by a score of 36-0. Greg, now I want to jump into some of the bottom half of that Blitz 5 top 25, right?
Sure.
Hanging around between 15 and 25. We have a lot of games going final. Starting with that Harrison game, they were taking on Talawanda tonight. Last time we saw it was 56-7. Harrison was winning that game, so obviously we are going to assume they did win that game. Harrison playing some good football. And another team, number 25, right at the end of that Blitz 5 top 25, Mount Healthy. Right, we love their star players. We know they play some good football. Head coach Jordan Stevens and the crew, they played Belmont today, and would you look at it? Another shutout, right? 42-0. Mount Healthy wins that game, and Harrison and Mount Healthy, Greg, both playing some good football in Week 8.
Yeah, I think the final of the Harrison game was 56-15 is when it finished.
Yep.
Yeah, look, Harrison, they've scored 49 more now or more 5 times in the last 6 weeks, so they're rocking and rolling, and did it against Mount Healthy. So I like this team. Again, a Division II team that's sitting there sort of like LaSalle. Yep. You think they got some stuff, some mojo going on, and they could be hanging around there. And you want to avoid Anderson as long as you can in this tournament because the colder it gets, the better off you might be against them if they have to throw the ball. It's a night that has any moisture in the air.
Absolutely. And some other teams sandwiched between Mount Healthy and Harrison. We had number 19th ranked Baden. They were taking on Alter. That's always a good matchup, right? Baden versus Alter. That's a very fun game. That was at Bellbrook High School tonight. Baden with a 13-10 win, and Baden going back to the old ways of their winning style, right? Playing good defense, Greg. A 3-point win. This looked like, the Baden of old when we saw them making deep runs in the playoffs.
Yeah, and look, I mean, Mickey already does it year in and year out, and they take pride on it. He's proud of his defensive coordinator and what these guys do. There's an expectation there at Baden to play great defense, and they do week in and week out, year in and year out. I mean, it's one of the most consistent things we have that we can look forward to. We know Anderson's offense is going to be big-time scoring points and a lot of yards. We know that Baden's defense is going to not give up a lot of points, and that's what they do, and they do it every year. Hats off to them. They will be playing McNick in Week 10, and that could be for the GCL Co-Ed Championship one more week because you never know. That's one of those leagues like the GCL South. Any given Friday could be an upset.
Yeah, and speaking of McNick, Greg, they're number 24 in our Blitz 5 top 25. They were taking on Bishop Fenwick tonight, and another great game by McNick, right? They making that transfer 35-7. Defense playing well in that game, and then one more game in the GMC, number 20th ranked Mason, shutting out Coleraine by a score of 31-0. Greg, talking about McNick and Mason, both of these teams, right? Hard-nosed, gritty, good defensive football, both get big wins tonight.
A couple of running backs had big nights tonight. Caleb Nauman for McNick had 3 rushing touchdowns, and then Tini Adesanya career game. Another running back going over 100 yards tonight from Mason. And Mason starting to turn that corner a little bit, starting to look like they did last year. It took them a while to get that thing going, but, they can grind it out, and that's a good thing. Them and West Claremont, very similar in styles, take time off the clock, make it fewer possessions. Fairmont did it tonight against Springboro up in the G-Walk as well. Took that, ran that clock took the gas off the pedal and ran the clock down. So, I really like what they do a lot, Mason. I'm just happy for Coach Kastner that this thing has turned around for him.
Absolutely. Coach Kastner's team, they are going to get better as the season goes on. Greg, let's jump to some interstate football, right? Eastern Indiana, right? Mm-hmm. Since we are talking Blitz 5, top 25, Underground Sports Shop scoreboard. Number 18, East Central, right? They were taking on Greensburg tonight, and Greg, the theme of tonight does continue. Another shutout being pitched, East Central winning that game 49-0, and then some other games going around Eastern Indiana. Lordsburg, they were taking on Connorsville, and you know it, 51-0. Lawrenceburg gets a big win there. And Greg, we were following a game. I don't know if we have the final score. It was Batesville versus Franklin County, right? A lot of people thought Batesville was going to win that game. But we did see Franklin County was winning that game 24-14. I don't know if we have a final score, but regardless, it's a really great outing tonight by Franklin County. Again, we're going to look for that final score, but a very close game for Batesville.
And Batesville's one of those teams that I thought they were going to be more dominant this year with all the returnees they had. Pullman at running back, Geisel at quarterback. I mean, both are, I think they both are record holders for passing and rushing, all kinds of records for the school, but they just haven't clicked like I thought they would yet. I mean, they lost to Lawrenceburg. I thought they were going to beat Lawrenceburg. Lawrenceburg's rolling. They lost that opener to East Central, and they're back in their winning ways like they normally do. I think it's 5 times in the last 7 years that they've won 11 games in a row after losing the opener to East Central.
East Central, yeah. Lather, rinse, and repeat, right? Tough loss against East Central, and then that's what they do. Absolutely. All right, we are going to take a quick break. We have so much more to get to, right? We're going to aim for some more head coaches on the hotline, talk some more NKY football as well, and we'll run through a lot of our big games happening this week. And Greg and I have some big things to talk about as some big matchups loom next week as well. We are having fun on the High School Football Tonight show, powered by TriStateFootball.com on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
For over 20 years, the Underground Sports Shop has been the local favorite for sports teams, fans, and businesses who are looking for quality products with prices they can afford. From uniforms and sports gear to fan apparel and promotional items, we take pride in providing you with the customized products you need and the service you deserve. To place an order, visit us online at theundergroundsportsshop.com or call us at 513-751-1662. That's the Underground Sports Shop, showcasing pride on and off the field.
Neither of those coaches answered, and I've called them multiple times.
Skip the line and order online at penn-station.com. Get your favorite sub with fresh cut fries and fresh squeezed lemonade. Visit penn-station.com.
I'm a firefighter.
A teacher.
I'm a farmer. I'm a barber.
A waitress. A mom. We're all part of your community. Out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good, others not so much.
But that's life. It's when you experience a moment of uncertainty, something or someone's behavior that
These are the moments to take a pause.
Because if something doesn't feel right, it's probably not.
It's not about paranoia
or being afraid.
It's about standing up and protecting our communities.
One detail at a time.
Because a lot of little details can become a pattern.
We trust our instincts.
Just like you should.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Week 9 of the Blitz, a trip to West Claremont to check in on one of this season's biggest surprises. The Wolves continue an impressive run through ECC play. One of the best rushing attacks in all the tri-state belongs to this team. 11 o'clock, the studio highlights you need as the playoffs sit just 2 Friday nights away. Charlie Clifford, Olivia Ray, we'll see you tonight.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024, Bank of America, N.A.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can easily find coverage options that fit your budget. If only it was that easy to name your baby.
Am I trying anybody else this segment?
Michael? Went to middle school with a glue eating Michael.
Sebastian.
Dated one in college.
How about Damien?
Vampire name.
All right, Greg?
Not feeling it.
Okay, no worries. Jeffrey?
I love that one.
Wait, really?
No.
Find coverage options that fit your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law, not available in all states.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it, so can you.
For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
Get ready for Genesis Diamond's largest ever sale on luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Hey, this is David Cooper, Vice President at Genesis Diamonds. If you've ever dreamed of wearing a Rolex, you can't miss this special 2-day event, October 18th and 19th. During this event, you can take advantage of special pricing and 0% interest financing on a stunning selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces. We've got dozens and dozens of Pepsi, Batman, Sprites, Submariners, Daytonas, models you can't find anywhere else. All of our luxury pre-owned Rolexes are in pristine like new condition, some just out of the box. And listen, with the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings free. That's a $3,000 value. Also, our pre-owned Rolex buyers will be on site offering top dollar for-year-old Rolex. Come see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state and take advantage of special financing October 18th and 19th only, and only at Genesis Diamonds on Montgomery Road.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Stand by.
Instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
All right, that's us. Welcome back in. High School Football Tonight Show, powered by TriStateFootball.com, Cincinnati's ESPN 1530, Fox Sports 1360. Stephon Elvey and Greg Shoemaker, the TriStateFootball.com team here. We want to give a big thank you and shout out to our sponsors here at TriStateFootball.com, proud supporters of high school football. We want to thank them so much. Without them, none of this would be possible. Gold Star Chili, follow your own recipe. Mellow Window and Carpet Cleaning, the best in residential cleaning services. The Underground Sports Shop, showcasing pride on and off the field. And finally, the U.S. Marines. The few, the proud, the Marines. And for those of you who were listening to us, we did get a final score on that Franklin County Batesville game. Franklin County with a 31-17 win over Batesville. A big win right there for Franklin County. We'll talk about more of that here in just a few minutes. But Greg, I want to go right back to that Underground Sports Shop scoreboard, Greg. Talking some small school action all around the tri-state football, right? Different conferences, MVC, right? I want to just reel off some scores, and you can let me know if you have anything to chime in on that. We had Lebanon taking on Turpin in an ECC matchup. Lebanon with a 48-28 win there. Loveland was taking on Little Miami. Loveland blanks Little Miami 42-3. Loveland playing some good football and a feel-good game, right? Batavia versus New Richmond, right? Batavia is one of our really fun teams we have this year. We've been loving following them. They're winning a lot of games, and they did it again tonight with a shutout over New Richmond by a score of 38-0. We had Ross taking on Franklin in the Swabble, right? Whatever you want to call it. SWBL, right? We're going to do this all day, right? And Ross comes up on the shorthand of that stick, Franklin, winning 21-0 there. We know Edgewood lost to Valley View 24-20. Wilmington was taking on Goshen, and another shutout was pitched there. Wilmington with a 41-0 win. And then Clinton Massey, right? We know they're running the triple option wing T offense that they run up there. They won again, beating Western Brown by a score of 42-0. Williamsburg, they were taking on East Clinton tonight. Williamsburg with a 47-0 blanking of East Clinton there. Taylor was taking on Madeira, and I believe this game was kind of right down the road from here at iHeart. We could hear, the band going off, and unfortunately for Madeira, it was not a good night for them. Taylor beating them by a score of 36-12. Deer Park was taking on Reading. This was actually one of the very close games we had on the evening. Deer Park coming up just short against Reading. 21-16. Reading wins that game.
Let's stop there with those two.
Absolutely.
That Reading game, Deer Park playing Reading that close, Division 6 versus a
21-16.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's good for Tucker Berger and his guys after last week's loss to Wyoming to come back and show hard like that. Yeah, you don't win it, but you played a good team tough. The other game, Taylor, another one of those teams like Harrison. I think they're in D4 this year, Taylor, and watch it. Keep an eye on them. They're playing good ball. David Dransman's got them going good. They've got a pair of juniors, McFarland, the wide receiver, who's a Division I prospect, and Mikey Branch, who's also a Division I prospect. they got some talent, man, and they're going to be good for a couple of years. So keep an eye on Taylor. I think they're getting better as this year goes on, and we're just sort of watching their progression.
Yeah, that's another big win right there, beating Madeira 36-12. And Greg, I want to reel off a score that I am not having a typo here. Taft was taking on West High tonight, and I'm seeing the final score was 76-0. Right, we have a shutout, which we, again, have had all night long. But Taft putting up 76 points, Greg. We know Taft has had a kind of up and down season, right? We did expect a little bit more from them, but we still like the talent that they have. Seems like they were taking out some aggression on West High tonight with that 76-0 begrudging of West High tonight. Really excellent game right there. And again, some other games going around. We had Blanchester taking on Bethel Tate. The last time we saw that, I don't know if we have a final. I believe Blanchester was winning that game 15-14, so a very close game there. And then some other scores around the tri-state area, jumping back in to the Blitz 5, top 25. Right, the number 1 ranked Moeller Crusaders, right? Got to talk about them. GCL South champions for the 3rd consecutive year. They were taking on St. Ignatius, a really big power up there in Northern Ohio. They won that game by a score of 44-0. A very impressive outing from Moeller, especially on the defensive end, playing a really solid St. Ives team and beating them by 44 points. And in the game we heard right here on these airwaves, number 6th ranked St. Xavier taking on number 11th ranked LaSalle, the king of the road game, as they call it. St. Xavier Bombers pitching a shutout against the Lancers by a score of 9-0. And then rounding out the GCL South interstate matchup, the Elder Panthers coming in number 10 in our Blitz 5, top 25. They were taking on Riverdale Baptist, right? That's a Maryland school, right? Riverdale Baptist, a Maryland school. 28-27. Elder comes up on the short end of that game. It was an overtime game. Looks like Elder was going to go for 2 points after they scored, and they did not convert. So Elder on the short end of that stick. And then moving into the GMC, a team that a lot of us like right now, number 9th ranked Hamilton. They were taking on number 21. They were Middletown, and Hamilton coming out with a 42-7 win there. And the Hamilton and Elder scores are brought to you by Kelsey Truck Country on Route 50 and 275 and Lawrenceburg, Greater Cincinnati's fastest growing full service dealer and the Tri-State's number 1 Chevy lease dealer, all because you're a family believing in ours. KelseyChev.com. And again, those Baden scores, right? Baden beat Alter by a score of 13-10 tonight. Baden playing some good football. Their scores are brought to you by AE Door and Window Company. They sell the best and service the rest. Our big thanks to Bill and Adam Weber for their continued support of high school football throughout these years. And Greg, a lot of high school football going on tonight, right? Southwest Ohio, Eastern Indiana, Northern Kentucky. And one thing we're seeing a lot, Greg, as I mentioned multiple times, a lot of shutouts tonight, right?
Yeah,
from big schools, right, to small schools. Is it really common to see this late in the season as teams are figuring out their identity, right? Wanting to run the ball, wanting to pass the ball. The weather doesn't seem like it was a factor. It was a beautiful day, and Southwest Ohio, all over the tri-state area, a lot of shutouts and a lot of teams not playing well on offense.
So yeah, and so we talked about the blowouts tonight. There were a lot of those, but you talked about the 90-0 St. Xavier win over LaSalle, a defensive struggle, and 2 good teams. Right, yep. And then we didn't talk about this game tonight, but the CMAC Blue Division, CCPA knocks off Schroeder, the top 2 teams in that division of that league, 6-0. See, and Schroeder's been playing really well. They have some very good wins, and CCPA had one really strange loss. They had a loss to Meadowdale that was sort of strange. Now Meadowdale's a bigger school, but they lost 26-20. To a team that, like, whoa, what happened there? And they lost to Woodmore last week. But 2 teams that are small schools, but played offense very well, yep. and seeing low-scoring affairs and shutouts.
Absolutely, and there's some other games that went final in Northern Kentucky. And, Greg, this might have been the barn burner of the night, right? High offense, close game. Connor, right, in Northern Kentucky, they were taking on Dixie Heights. This game was a not high-scoring game in the first half, but then in the second half, they really got things going offensively. Connor winning that game by a score of 35-31. Greg, Connor having a really good season this year, right? They have a couple losses to some really good teams, but the Connor Cougars playing well. And then Bishop Brossart, they were taking on Holy Cross, and Bishop Brossart dominating that game, winning that score 35-0, right? So those Northern Kentucky scores, a lot of dominating happening in Northern Kentucky, right? And going back to the GMC now, back to Southwest Ohio. Lakotas, they are reigning high in the GMC, Greg. The top 2 teams in the GMC, they reside in Lakota. 2nd-ranked Lakota West, they were taking on Oak Hills tonight. West dominates that game 52-7. fourth straight week, Greg. Lakota West scoring over 50 points, and they are ranked number 1 in the GMC.
They're getting it done. We talked about it earlier. Everybody's contributing on offense, on defense. Sam Wiles, man. He just wins, and he just does everything to put that team in a great position. And it's hard to catch up when he does what he does. And just one of those kids that will come out and in his career, he was a good. Oh my God, he was a pretty doggone good football player.
Absolutely. And then on the other side, Lakota East, right, 8th ranked. They were taking on Sycamore tonight. We were watching it right here on the TV next to us. Dominating performance, right, running clock, 56-12. Lakota East beats Sycamore. And Greg, Coach John Kitna's team, right, they're getting better week in and week out, playing their best ball at the right time because the matchup is looming, right? The matchup of Lakotas is looming, and they will do it, being first and second in the GMC.
Indian Hill and Wyoming, and Lakota West, Lakota East, and
Anderson Winton
Woods. It couldn't be a better week 9 than that. I mean, oh my goodness, we've all been waiting for this. I mean, circle the calendars before the year even started on those.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun matchups. Greg and I are going to get into some of those right after this, and then we're going to do our favorite segment of the day, Greg, Game Balls, right? We are.
Nick Ayers is on.
Oh, actually,
Nick Ayers
on that, we actually have a head coach on the hotline. We're going to switch things up. We have head coach Nick Ayers from Williamsburg joining us. They got a big win tonight. Coach, thank you so much for joining us on this late Friday night. We appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. We're just now heading out. You guys having me on.
Hey, Nick, congratulations, man. You guys had a lot of seniors leave you guys, and you bounced back. Your son left. He was an all-state performer. Your quarterback's gone, and JJ, and you guys are now 7-1, and you're going to play Bethel Tate for sole possession of the conference championship next week.
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, we want that game. We wish we would have been able to beat them last year, but they coached better. I didn't get it done. I'm really excited that Bethel got a win tonight, and we can play next Friday.
Yeah, Coach, I want to talk to you about your defense tonight. They did pitch a shutout. Seems like you guys are playing well on both sides of the ball, but talk to me about that defense and some of the things that they were doing well tonight.
The rotates about 10, 11 guys, and our kids are fast and quick. They love to hit, and they just, if I could say anything, they run to the ball really well.
And your offense is starting to put some points on the board, and we talked about all the guys you lost there, but your quarterback seems to be settling in quite well. He had another big night tonight in this win. Talk a little bit about Michael Corcoran and his development and his bright future.
Yeah, so I mean he's really kind of mustered up some colleges at the NAI and D3, and he's proved that he can be anchor late in the game, and we kind of didn't use it. We saw tonight that he can rush a little bit, and he can still put his body's big. He can put more weight on, so he's a kid that's not even done growing, and he's. When he gets in a college setting where your football is your life, I'm excited to see how he grows. They've done a good job utilizing him and the weapons he has around him. So it's sky's the limit for those guys.
We got head coach Nick Ayers from Williamsburg joining us. They got a big win tonight over East Clinton by a score of 47-0. Coach, I want to talk about the character and resolve of your team. Right, they had a tough loss early in the season to New Richmond, and we all know that's a very good team over there. And then you guys have since been rolling offensively and defensively. All right, talk to me about that week 2 loss, but more specifically, kind of what you've seen from your team after that on this winning streak.
So I think the kids, once we played Purcell, you kind of have that, and you get a winner. When you think, wow, we've really arrived, Williamsburg, a GCL or whatever, so then, and then you kind of, it's going to be easy from here on out, and you kind of relax, and it's the coach's job to bring you back to a good job of that first week. So we started out really slow.
against New Richmond and put the ball on the carpet a little bit. And our kids will resist that game. And from the second half of that game till now, our kids have thought we were in every game. I mean, there's no quit in them. You know, up 40, down 40, tied at 40. It's going to. They've been amazing. I mean, it's been a great time coaching them, and people said, you know, we graduated all our good players. Well, we're, 7-1. So obviously that's not true.
Nick, I want to tell somebody, you went to Glen Estee, you coached over at West Claremont. You've been out on that east side all your life. I was out at Batavia this week doing our Gold Star Team of the Week presentation to Batavia and Coach Stacy out there and his team. And he was talking about the area, and they're building 1,000 new houses out in Batavia. He thinks that school is going to be a Division II school. And then you guys are getting a new Purina plant out there. For you, as somebody that sort of lived out there in that little sleepy, hot, far natty, how this place grow and the future prospects of what Williamsburg football could become?
Yeah, I mean, the growth that in the Purina brings from my point of view is it's not even, you can't even put bring incredible that want to move near in or around Williamsburg. It's going to bring a economic benefit to our area, and I believe that our facilities and our schools, I mean, second to none. And look at the school academics handled, the administration, the stuff, alignment. When we took this job, 3 years ago, I truly believe Williamsburg is the only place in Claremont County you can win a state title.
Wow.
It's the perfect size, and the community, the administration, and the athletics was all together.
That's
to put us in a situation to win a regional final where the state champion comes out of our region every year because they're from the MAC conference.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the
final, so it's my fault if we don't do it right.
No, it's not. But you know what? There's a lot of pressure to put on yourself, Nick, and we tonight on High School Football Tonight. Thank you for the late call, and I'll go down the road, and I'm sure we'll talk to you when the playoffs start.
Coach. And Greg, look, they've won 6 games in a row. They're playing their best football of the season, right? They just had a shutout against East Clinton. The SBAAC, that's a good football conference, right? They got Clinton Massey up in there. They got Williamsburg. This is going to be a tough outcome playoff time. And like you said, he thinks you can win a state championship up there, and it really seems like he believes it, right? He's firm in his statements.
What's going on in between Batavia and Williamsburg and all the way out to Mount Orab and West Claremont to Batavia, then to Williamsburg? I mean, it's growing big time, and it's going to be fun to watch because those schools are going to be the ones. Because we look at guys like Nick Ayers, we look at guys like Jeff Essig, who want to be around there, and Ben Mormon, who's doing what he's doing at West Claremont, and Wade Stacy's not going anywhere at Batavia after this showing. I mean, he's going to be king after this. So it's exciting to see. It really is.
Yeah, these are programs building. They're going to continue to get better, and they're going to continue to be
your eyes on them, man.
A lot of fun happening in Claremont County. All right, Greg, we got a few minutes left. That means it's time to hand out some game balls, right? Some top performers around the tri-state area.
First?
No, we're all the way.
We're all the way.
We are all the way through, right? We are handing out game balls. We are all the way through.
Get this bad boy.
Gotta be out at 55.
Nice.
Yep. All right, Greg.
Let's do it.
Hand out some game balls. Let me know who you got.
Well, I'll start with Carson Lindholm tonight. 4 first-half rushing touchdowns, 139 yards as Kings blanks. Milford 45 zip.
Absolutely. Then How about Grayson Goldsmith?
Oh, yeah.
All right, 4 touchdowns, 2 of them for 50-plus yards. Hamilton, the Big Blue, winning 42-7. This team playing some excellent football.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give a shout out to Jeff Cargile and the CCPA team for knocking off Schroeder tonight. That's a very big win, 6-0 win for those guys. And this is a very good CCPA team. We talk about small school football. Keep an eye on the Lions. We're going to talk about them here coming up in the next few weeks for sure.
Absolutely. Any more game balls, Greg, to hand out before we talk a little bit about next week?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about next week.
Absolutely. We have some big showdowns coming next week.
5 o'clock start next week on high school football tonight. And we'll go a 6 o'clock start for St. Xavier football. And we'll be on. We're going to go long. Dan and I will go along. And I'll see you in probably a couple of weeks after that.
It's going to be playoff time coming up short.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we got that Anderson versus Winton Woods game coming up. We got the Lakota East versus Lakota West.
30 seconds.
Greg, just real quick last words before we get out of here.
Yeah, Wyoming and Indian Hill next week as well. And stay tuned to us on tristatefootball.com for all our podcasts. Stephon and I will do the preview show on Wednesday, so you can check us out on tristatefootball.com there. We'll talk about all those great games. And Jacob Burkmeyer and Daniel Coombs, they'll do the wrap-up show on Monday night from this past week.
And
so
then right after this, right head to Blitz 5, WLWT, Charlie Clifford and Olivia Ray. They're going to have all the highlights as well. So right after this, tune in to WLWT Channel 5. That is going to do it for us. We are out of here. We will talk to you guys next week. Thank you for everyone who has been a part of this. Elena Moore, Keegan Wood. For Stephon Elvey, Greg Shoemaker, we will talk to you next week on the High School Football Tonight Show, powered by TriStateFootball.com. on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive